Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So the last weekend was very turbulent here in everything that is connected to the judicial reform and our fight for our democracy. It started with the Prime Minister, who decided that he doesn't want noise and he doesn't want demonstrators to demonstrate when he is around. So he got the police to have a new order to stop demonstrators from demonstrating where he goes. Now our movement is now going to places where parliament members and where ministers that are connected to this reform or this attempt to change our country into a dictatorship, and especially the Prime Minister, and trying to disrupt their visits, to disrupt their everyday life, and he doesn't like it. And when the police tried to stop demonstrators from doing it, from demonstrating, people started showing them that we still have the right to demonstrate. Well, our country is not a dictatorship, not yet. And it deteriorated from there because Friday evening they got a permission to demonstrate in front of our Prime Minister's house in Caesarea, which is Caesarea, I think it is in English. And it became very, very violent, very turbulent. And the violence was from the police. They arrested people violently. They hit demonstrators. Blood was spilled. There was this youngster that lost consciousness, and then they took the demonstrators to police stations, but they misled the demonstrators. They didn't tell them where they were taking the detainees, and people started going to the police station to demonstrate there in order to get those people released. And I was up until 4:30 a.m. watching what was happening live on Facebook, and it was horrible to see. The policemen were marching into a group of demonstrators that were just shouting and singing, and were just violently taking people, and they altogether they arrested 14 people, out of them a woman and two underaged youngsters, and two were people that needed hospitalization later, I think 2 or 3, because of their beating. It was a really, really difficult night. And then on Saturday, of course, we went out to demonstrate. So things are getting more and more hectic and more difficult here. So it's getting more and more stormy. And the next big date is the 14th of June, when they decide what will be they will decide on composition of the committee that elects judges. This is very, very important, because if the coalition takes over the entire committee, then we lose the battle. So this is the next important date, and we are waiting for this to happen. And just FYI, there have been quite a lot of demonstrators around the world in the USA, because many parliament members and ministers went to the US in the past few days, and they met demonstrators all over. Okay, so that is what is happening here, and this reading. So this is a gossipy reading. So it's about things that came up in videos by Lady C and the Vintage Reading Show YouTube channel. If you're not following her, she is really good. And this is something that actually came up in Angela Levin's book, but many people overlooked it. And apparently when Angela Levin talked to Harry, he told her that when he started dating Meghan, he wasn't so besotted with her as he was trying to make us all believe in Spare. And he was actually also dating a model, the Burberry model called Sarah Ann Macklin. And he bombarded her with messages, and I looked her up, and she looks very much like Meghan. She also has a long dark hair, and she's also she looks darker and not the blonde type as Harry usually used to date. So she is the Meghan type. So the Vintage Read Show lady said maybe Harry mixed up the two, and he wasn't sure who he is dating, whether it was Sarah Ann or Meghan. But what I understood from Lady C was that Sarah Ann Macklin wasn't very much on par with Harry, with everything that goes with drinking and taking drugs, and this was the main obstacle for their relationship at the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a retrospect reading and go into Harry's head at that time and look into what was in his head then, how he saw Sarah Ann Macklin, how he saw Meghan, in comparison, how both of them saw him, and what would have been the outcome if he had stayed with Sarah Ann Macklin in comparison to the outcome of his marriage to Meghan. And to top of the gossip, since the New York award ceremony, in which we saw that Meghan's bodyguard coordinated with her the tie that he wore, not Harry, but the bodyguard, rumors have started that Meghan has or had a relationship with him, just like Princess Diana had a relationship with her bodyguard. So now Meghan is having a romance with her bodyguard. So rumors are that Meghan is two-timing Harry, and that she's cheating him with the bodyguard. So this will be just the cherry on the cake. At the end of this reading, I will do a reading asking if she is cheating on him, and if she is it with the bodyguard. Okay, so another cat tarot. I hope that you're not tired of cat tarots, but I'm still very much in the cat tarots. So this is the cat tarot. There is another tarot deck that the same creator has made called Mouse Tarot, but I couldn't get it. The Mouse Tarot was way over my budget. So we're still with the cat tarot. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's clear the deck. Let's start asking. So, when Harry dated Sarah Ann Macklin and Meghan Markle at the same time, what was he thinking about Sarah Ann Macklin in comparison to Meghan Markle? How did Sarah Ann Macklin see Harry, and how did Meghan Markle see Harry? What would have been the outcome of a relationship between Harry and Sarah Ann Macklin in comparison to his marriage to Meghan Markle? So, when Harry was dating Sarah Ann Macklin, while he was dating Meghan Markle, how did he see Sarah Ann Macklin? How did he see Meghan Markle in comparison? How did Sarah Macklin see Harry, and how did Meghan see Harry? What would have been the outcome of a relationship between Sarah Ann Macklin and Harry in comparison to his marriage to Meghan Markle? So let's cut the deck. So the first card is Harry at that time. What kind of person he was, and how was he? How did he look at the world? What were his views at the time? And the card that I'm getting is the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is a card of someone who is not very much satisfied from the world, from the situation. So he was not a happy person when he met Meghan, when he met Sarah Ann Macklin. He was in this desperate situation, in this despair. Now, I have to make it very clear, and I cannot find there it is. This is an unjustified despair. Why is that? Because we have 3 cups that are spilled and 2 cups that are full. And the person does not see the full cups. He sees only the cups that are spilled. So This is a person that cannot see the full half of his cup. So Harry couldn't see the upsides of his life. At that time, he was only seeing the downsides. So he was in this desperate situation. He was really desperately looking for some things, looking for emotions, looking for a relationship. Cups is about emotions. It's about feelings. So he was in this place of desperation, of lack of trust, a person that was in this place of feeling that everything that he is, it's like a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. Everything that he is predicting to himself that is negative is coming true. Or he was just after a separation from someone that he liked. So he was not a happy person at that time. Okay, so how did he see Sarah Ann Macklin? And he saw her as the star. Now remember, Sarah Ann Macklin was a model. She was the Burberry model, so she was a star. This card doesn't show the naked woman that the star card usually show, but it does show this white, beautiful cat. But also just pay attention that there's a lot of water here. Water also signifies emotions. The star card is about love. It's about naivety. It's about pure emotions. Now, the negative aspects of this card is about Pandora box and secrets, but it doesn't have to be when there is no reason to read the negative aspects of this card. And then this card, when it is upright, it is about a person that is full of naive and loving feelings. And this is how he saw her. Remember that this is a woman that is naked, and she's not naked because she is physically naked. This is a woman that is exposing her feelings because she has nothing to hide. Because this is why there is this card talks about a Pandora box, because when the woman is not exposing everything, then there is a Pandora box that needs to be opened. But he saw her as someone who is very, very open, very naive, very full of honest feelings, and with really, this is a card of falling in love. So if he fell in love with someone, it was with Sarah Ann Macklin. So how did he see Meghan? And he saw Meghan as the Three of Swords. So it seems like at that time, he could see right through Meghan. I wouldn't be surprised if he mixed up the messages and just mixed up between Sarah Ann Macklin and Meghan. So the Three of Swords is about destruction and failure, and it comes after not being able to see reality and not being able to cope with reality. So at that time, Harry was able to see that Meghan cannot see reality clearly, that she is unable to cope with reality. And he could see that she is in a place of destruction and failure. So I think that at that time when they met, and she was at a time when her when her career in suit was ending and there was no prospects of a new acting parts, he could read right through her. He could see right through her. So he wasn't fooled by her. So I'm not sure. Okay, so there was a disturbance. Anyway, really interesting that this is how Harry saw Meghan at the beginning of their relationship. Maybe he felt sorry for her, I don't know, but it's interesting. And let's see, how did Sarah Ann Macklin see Harry at the beginning? And what we are getting here is the Three of Wands, which is not that bad. The Three of Wands is a card of someone who is respected, someone who is getting cooperation, getting recognition, someone who is at the beginning of a road to get victory. The Wands is a card, it's a suit of a person who can manifest, a person who can create. So Sarah Ann Macklin had a good opinion of Harry. She did not see him badly. She saw him as someone who can get victories. The Three of Wands is a success. It's the first success in the suit of Wands. It's about going out on this quest to realize your potential and getting recognition. This is about getting this is about getting this certificate or getting this success. It's a success. So Sarah Ann Macklin did not see Harry as a loser. So she did see him as someone who can get manifested, someone who has a potential. Someone who has a potential and can realize his potential and get his wishes realized in the material world. So this is how she saw him, and this is a great way to see someone at the beginning of a relationship. So how did Meghan see Harry at the beginning? And what we're getting here is the Queen of Pentacles. So that's interesting because the Queen of Pentacles, that is the Queen Elizabeth. So it looks like, first of all, Meghan saw the queen, she saw the titles, she saw the royal family. So that was the first thing that she saw. And then the Queen of Pentacles represents stability. She represents, ability to get, to know how to be affluent and to know how to be abundant and to keep your money and to know how to be businesslike and everything that is connected to property, to inheritance. So this is about a person that she saw him from the money and the property and the inheritance side of things. This is what she saw when she looked at Harry. She looked at him and she saw his family and she saw the titles and she saw the money, the inheritance, what she could gain from this relationship. And I suppose that this is why she was so keen on getting him and so keen on making him change his way, the way that he saw her. So I don't know where exactly and how exactly he changed his mind regarding both of them, but it most definitely changed, and it's most definitely obvious that in the beginning Harry was more keen on Sarah Ann Macklin than he was on Meghan, and it seems like Sarah Ann Macklin actually did see Harry as a person that she saw him as a human being, not as a money machine. She saw him as someone who has a potential and can get places. Meghan did not see him as a person. She saw him as an inheritance, as a money machine, as someone to get places through. So in her mind, he was a mean to an end. Okay, so if Harry had stayed with Sarah Ann Macklin, what would have been the outcome? And what we're getting here is justice. So that's interesting because justice is a card that speaks about, first of all, justice. So he would have had the justice that he deserves. That could have been good or bad. I don't know. But justice also is about court cases. It's about marriage or divorces. So it could very much have ended with divorce. Justice is also about cutting things out of your life's pathway that are not helping you to move forward. So it could have been the same, that Harry would have decided to leave the royal family because he would have decided that this is not helping him. It wouldn't have to be the same way as with Meghan. And as far as I understand, at the same interview, he said to Angela Levin that he doesn't want to be royal anymore, that he doesn't want to stay as working royal. So this is something that he wanted even before he met Meghan. So maybe even if he had married Sarah Ann Macklin, he would have left the royal family, but maybe not in the same terrible way that he did with Meghan, but in a just way, in a way that still is doing justice to all. So it wouldn't have changed everything in the long run, but it might have changed the way things are done. And so we don't need to know exactly the outcome of Harry and Meghan's relationship, but let's see it anyway. So what do the tarot have to tell us for the outcome of this relationship? And it actually tells us the Ten of Cups. So in my opinion, this tells me that Harry believes that he's happy. So he really does believe that he's happy, and maybe it is just because he believed it up until today or up until not recently. He really did believe that he is fully happy and in this mountain of happiness. So I do believe that Harry is in a place where he is deceiving himself to believe that he is happy, and he's saying all of that in interviews. He believes himself. He believes that he is happy. So this is what this card is telling me, that Harry, and this goes very well with my previous reading about their relationship, he is still very much in this relationship with Meghan. He still wants that relationship to go on. He still doesn't see that she has moved on. So he wants the happiness. He wants back that feeling. It's very much like an addictive person that has this high, and he wants to recreate that high. So he had that high with Meghan, and he keeps on trying to recreate that high feeling, and he keeps on trying to recreate that high, and it's almost impossible for him to recreate that high, but he keeps on trying. So he's overlooking a lot of things that Meghan is doing, a lot of things that she is saying, because he wants that feelings of happiness, feeling of joy, once again. But this card shows us the family, his family, the two kids that they have under their custody, whether they are his or not, I'm not sure, but they have these two kids that they are raising, and he believes that he can be happy, that he can go back to that happiness. Okay, so that is the first reading. And the second one is regarding Meghan and whether or not she is having an affair. And if she is, whether it's with Chris Sanchez, I think his name is. I'll let you know. Wait a minute. Okay. Chris Sanchez, yes. So whether it's with Chris Sanchez, her bodyguard. So let's shuffle the cards again. And clear the deck again. Okay, so is Meghan having an affair, an ex-marital affair, and is it with Chris Sanchez? Is Meghan having an ex-marital affair? And if she does, is it with Chris Sanchez? Is Meghan having an ex-marital affair? And if she does, is it with Chris Sanchez? Okay, so the first card is telling us what is Meghan hiding. Justice, once again. So I think that what she is that hiding is that she is, and I got it before with their relationship, that she is getting ready to kick Harry down the curve. People are saying that Harry is the one that has contacted the lawyers. I believe that it's the other way around. Meghan is getting ready to divorce Harry when it's convenient to her. And this is what she's hiding. This is what she is getting ready to. And this is the main thing that she's hiding. Okay, so the next card is, what is it that she needs to reveal? What is it that she has to reveal? And it is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, it's about flow and renewal in the material world. It's about feelings. It's about getting your feelings realized. It's about believing that you can have feelings. It's about abundance. So it's about believing that problems can be resolved by themselves. And I think that in this instance, it's about having feelings for someone else. So I think that this is something that she has to reveal. This is something that maybe she is not, she doesn't even know by her, well, this is something that she herself is incapable of, I think, as a narcissist. But this is something that she needs to reveal, because this is something that is going on, and this could be someone else that has those feelings towards her. Any kind of man that she's controlling probably is developing those feelings towards her. So is she cheating Harry? And the answer is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, that is the spoiled kid. That is the knight that doesn't want to do things by himself. He is waiting for others to do the work for him. And this is usually when we are asking a yes or no question, this is a yes answer because it is a card, a court card. And court cards for yes or no answers are usually yes answers. And the Knight of Swords is also a warrior and a stubborn person. And that is one of the reasons why it is a yes answer. So in this instance, I think that yes, she is having an affair. She is cheating on Harry. And the underlying card will tell us whether or not she's having an affair with Chris Sanchez. So is Meghan having an affair with Chris Sanchez? And the underlying is the Four of Swords, and this is a no answer. And in my opinion, well, I didn't believe this rumor from the first place. I don't think that Meghan will degrade herself to have an affair with a bodyguard. Princess Diana or no Princess Diana, this is way under her dignity. And the Four of Swords, this is a person that decides not to decide. So in my opinion, this is her leading Chris Sanchez and making him believe that if if he will behave himself, if he will do what she asks him to do, then she will let him have his way. Maybe he's the one who has those feelings towards her, but she's not having an affair with him. She's having an affair with someone else. So, and just pay attention that both of these cards are sword cards, and there is no feelings in that affair. This is not a feelings affair. So Chris Sanchez probably is the one who has the feelings towards her, but she has no feelings towards him, and she is just pulling him by the strings. So that is the tarot. And the oracle deck, one deck is the Fantasy Cats Oracle. So it is about fantasies. So let's see what the Fantasy Cat Oracle has to say about Sarah Ann Macklin and Prince Harry. Okay, so clearing the deck. Sarah Ann Macklin and Prince Harry dating before he got together with Meghan Markle. Sarah Ann Macklin and Prince Harry dating. Okay, so let's see what this card tells us. And this card is attitude, desiring transformation. So this card speaks about changes, it speaks about transformation, it speaks about the need for transformation and how difficult it is. Difficult for cats and difficult for humans as well. And in order to adjust for change, you need to prepare for it, and sometimes even to go with the flow. So this could have helped Harry to get together with the woman that really appreciated him, and that he was actually liking better at that time. But maybe at that time he wasn't able to make that change, to make that transformation. As we heard, Sarah Ann Macklin probably wanted him to change things about himself that he was unwilling to change, and maybe that was the reason why he didn't stay with her, and maybe that wasn't for his best interest. Okay, The next card, tarot oracle, is the spirit, the wild unknown spirit animal spirit, a very well-known deck. So here I'm going to ask a card that shows us Chris Sanchez. What kind of animal is Chris Sanchez, Meghan Markle's bodyguard? So, what card represents him best? So let's clear the deck. What card represents Chris Sanchez, Meghan Markle's bodyguard? What card represents Chris Sanchez, Meghan Markle's bodyguard? Chris Sanchez. Let's see what we get. So with this deck, you have to have the manual right next to you, and he is a lion. So let's see. So, lion is the perfect bodyguard because he's patient, he's regal, and he is a complete master. So, that is when he is in balance. He is the epitome of peace and strength. And he is the master of the fire element. He is the living mascot of self-transformation. He dedicates his life to personal and spiritual growth. Interesting, because, well, this is not so much a personal bodyguard. Well, this is a person who is observant, precise in words and actions. So this is a very powerful person, and I can understand why this could be an attraction for Meghan. If he is out of balance, he could be withdrawn and too serious. So this could very much be a card that represents Chris Sanchez. Interesting. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.